Hello there. Regardless of whether politicians overturn this, the now very significant and fast-growing anti-Semitic community in the UK will be salivating over this latest victory of theirs as Jews are banned from a football match. Hitler would be proud of them. This is getting extremely dangerous. Even if eventually overturned, the banning of Israeli supporters from the upcoming Aston Villa vs Maccabi Tel Aviv Europa League football game at Villa Park in Birmingham on November the 6th tells us all we need to know about the balance of power in the UK right now. And this sort of statement from a UK Member of Parliament sinks to whole new lows. Thank you all who put the safety of Aston Villa fans, Birmingham residents and the British public above the Zionist and political pressure to let Israeli hooligans and terrorists run riot in our country. That is Iqbal Muhammad, MP for Dewsbury and Batley. And never forget the Batley teacher who now lives in fear and hiding. Now, since when have Israelis acted like hooligans in the UK, let alone run riot as terrorists? Never, as far as I can see. But we do know which demographic is likely to do this, don't we? And that is the actual threat that led the relevant authorities to ban Maccabi Tel Aviv fans from the stadium that day. They couldn't protect them. The authorities kowtowed to those that are more likely to cause the problems because they are a much, much larger group than the visiting fans. That's always the way. And right now we have a delicately balanced ceasefire in Gaza, and this will not help that situation. It's as if those on one side do not want that peace to last. They want Israel destroyed and will do anything to achieve that. And getting Israelis banned is part of it. So don't think this banning of Israeli football supporters is a one-off isolated incident. No, this appeasement will not end well. This will now be replicated across the cultural board. Any hint of Israel's Zionism or Jewishness will be under the threat of violence so as to force the authorities to shut down anything they are involved in. But one parliamentarian, Lord Bethel, has replied to this appalling post on X saying, "I am ashamed of my parliamentary colleague who is a bully and a system which gives in to bullies." Now a quick interjection. Most of you watching right now aren't subscribed, so here's what you need to do after liking this video. Press the subscribe button, then hit the little bell and select all. That way you'll get every single video the moment it's released. And if you don't, you're going to miss what's coming. Now, the authorities in the form of the Home Office say they will do all they can to keep Jews safe in the UK, saying on X, "No one should have to live a life in fear because of the faith they practice. That is not the Britain we stand for." In addition to existing support, up to £10 million in new funding will protect synagogues, Jewish faith schools and community centres across the UK. And it comes along with this poster. Increased funding to protect Jewish communities. Increased funding to protect Jews is a passive acceptance of the current threat to their safety. This is merely putting a fence around Jews to try and keep the bad actors away from them. But that protective fence will soon morph into a prison for those Jews as they find themselves unable to walk openly as Jews outside of it around the UK. That extra funding is not acting to protect Jews. No, it is passively accepting that the state can do nothing substantial about the threat to them. Or more likely, is unwilling to do anything more active to support them because it might incur the wrath of a certain demographic. And this government is still trying to bring in an Islamophobia definition and law. Further, On the day of the match, what sort of things do you expect the visiting Maccabi Tel Aviv players will have to endure during that game? Polite applause and cries of, "Well played, sir"? Somehow I doubt it. I think From the River to the Sea will feature very heavily, as will somehow smuggled in Palestinian and Hamas flags, more likely openly encouraged. And I bet there are viewers out there screeching at their screen right now that Maccabi Tel Aviv fans have been violent in the past. Well, so have other fans too. From The Sun at the beginning of this month. Aston Villa fans came under attack in Holland as Feyenoord fans hurled glasses in violent scenes. 5 people were arrested as supporters clashed on the streets of Rotterdam last night. And Aston Villa itself has come under the spotlight for a steep rise in arrests of its own fans. This from the gov.uk website. Source: Home Office, football-related arrests and banning orders, 2024 to 2025 domestic football season, Table 5. In the 2024 to 2025 season, Arsenal had the largest decrease in arrests compared with the 2023 to 2024 season. This follows a large increase in arrests in the 2023 to 2024 season. Aston Villa had the largest increase in arrests compared with the 2023 to 2024 season, from 26 to 71 arrests. And what would the backlash be were Israel to return the compliment on Villa fans at some stage in the future based on this information? Well, I've done a quick search and I can't see an upcoming Villa game in Israel this season. But maybe next season, who knows? And the growing band of UK anti-Semites might try to ban Villa actually going over there. In fact, they might try it on with all Israeli sport. That is exactly where this ban will go, if it is allowed to stand. At least this woeful UK Prime Minister is on the right side here. "This is the wrong decision," he said on X. "We will not tolerate anti-Semitism on our streets. The role of the police is to ensure all football fans can enjoy the game without fear of violence or intimidation." And the Culture Secretary Lisa Nandy will be meeting with Home Office officials today to see if there is a way through this ban to allow Israeli fans into the stadium. So let's see you stop bleating about it and act on it then. Finally, please like, subscribe and comment below, and a big shout out to our channel membership and Patreon supporters, and thank you for watching.